Hi, this is Adam Prossin. I am the owner of Prossin Sports Management, and we're recording here today in Australia from our 2014 Australia Summer League. We've been doing our Summer League program now for 5 years. This is our second year in Australia. We just finished our 12 days in Australia. We started out in the Queensland area and we visited Bundaberg, Rockhampton, Suncoast, Ipswich, and then we took a plane from Brisbane, Australia down to Hobart, which is in Tasmania, and we went to South Tasmania for played against Hobart, which is a team from the Southeast Australian Basketball League, or the SEBA League. Then we drove up north in Tasmania to Ulverstone, and we played the Northwest Tall Timbers Thunder team, also from the SEBA League in Australia. So we had 4 games against teams in the Queensland League, 2 games against teams from the SEBA League. We then hopped another plane. We flew from Tasmania to Melbourne, Australia. We played a team in the Big V League called the Diamond Valley Eagles, and then we participated in the official Big V preseason tournament, where we played 3 games, then a semi-final and final, and we also played an exhibition game against the host team of that tournament, the Frankston Blues of the SEBA League as well. So in total, in 12 days, we played 13 games. It was a grind, a lot of traveling, but the players were able to be seen by teams in several different leagues, teams that were looking for import players. We've had a few guys that have been placed already, and we have several openings that we're working on with teams now. Over the next few weeks, we'll have others presumably placed in jobs where they'll have an opportunity to continue their basketball career as a professional player. Last year we came to Australia for the first time, and we played 8 games over an 11-day period. We had 6 opportunities that came from that tour. This time we decided to add more games and add an extra day, so we've had a full trip here as with 13 games total in 12 days. The teams that we played last year, we played some of those again. We tried to get new teams, new eyeballs. We've created relationships with teams last year that are continuing, and we're still hoping to place players with those teams. So we created new opportunities this year and met new teams and team managers, coaches, administrators, scouts, agents from Australia also along the way. And the tournament that we participated in, the Big V preseason tournament, there was 19 different men's teams in the 3 different divisions of that tournament, who all can take import players. There was also women's teams there participating who also take import players. It's probably the largest tournament that I'm aware of for professional teams anywhere in the world. There was over 70 different clubs total that were participating in this tournament this year. In scheduling the tour, it's always a balancing act between the travel, trying to keep the travel to a reasonable amount, and scheduling games that are meaningful for the players and for the experience in total. Last year we had a number of teams that wanted to play us on the tour, but just because of how far off the track of our schedule they were, we couldn't go and play them. So this year we were able to create a schedule that added some of those teams that were really interested last year and expressed serious interest this year, such as Bundaberg and Rockhampton, which were a little more north than we went last year. So we went to Rockhampton, where they had approximately 750, 800 people in attendance, and then we also added the 2 Tasmanian teams from the SEBA League, where we went to Hobart, where over 1,000 people were in attendance at the game. So it was a great experience for the players to go and be seen by that many people and to be in that kind of an atmosphere with serious basketball teams, and just added to the overall experience. As far as the games in the Big V tournament this year, it was a very competitive tournament. We had some up and down games, and the teams proved to be tough, and of course did not want to lose to the American guys, and really put up a strong effort.
My name is Larry Daniels. I'm a professional basketball trainer. I'm a professional basketball retired player. Spent about 12 years in all the top different leagues around Europe. I was blessed to do that. Now I own a company called Max Hoop Skills Basketball Institute, which takes professional players, young players, and help them develop their game. That's kind of what the concept of the Australian Summer League was all about, to give guys an opportunity, especially coming from Division II, Division III NAIA schools that wouldn't get the look, or the actual development of the full experience of becoming a pro. And so in creating this opportunity, it gives me the chance to get guys together in a short time, saying sometimes just meeting them at the airport. So my tactic is that once I see the guys, I notice their height, I notice their abilities from the first day of practice, and I can kind of go from there and decide what guys can play and what their strengths are. And then I kind of look over the course of a game and find out what some of their weaknesses, which usually starts with conditioning and really just knowing how to be a pro. We've been doing this now for 5 years. This is our second year in the Australian Summer League. It was a huge success again. We always get guys that really just looking for that opportunity that can really, make the team if they would just have the exposure. I'm really grateful that the guys come. They always work hard, and the key to this is being able to listen. I explain to the guys all the time that in order to have a successful team, you must first be able to communicate in order to cooperate. And that's one of the key factors of having a tour like this, and allowing each and every player to really live their full dream when you come. As a player, I was able to play in several leagues that featured a lot of ex-NBA players, specifically the Euro League. I played in the Euro Cup. I played in the Euro Challenge. I was blessed to have a really good career in that, and average about 20 points pretty much through my whole career in all those different leagues, and being what they would call an undersized inside player. But it allowed me to be able to play all positions and play them well. And that way I bring that same focus with me when I'm doing the training with the guys here. I think the best and biggest benefit that we have in doing this is that I'm one-on-one with each player, and I try to make sure I have a system that can fit each player's strength. Where the best way to go is keep the basketball game simple, always emphasize the fundamentals, and whenever they're going through a rough moment, to always stay encouraging and let them know how they can improve themselves. I call it self-correct, and that allows them, even when a coach isn't there, when they're able to practice in their teams in Europe or Australia or Africa, wherever they're at, they're able to still be able to stay focused on that one goal, and that goal is don't be a shooter and be a maker.
We've been doing tours around the world for about 5 years now. We've been taking tours to different parts of Europe. I've taken teams also to Africa. Now this is the second year in Australia, and out of all the tours that we've done, as far as players' opportunities, Australia has really been the best so far. The teams are very open to dealing with guys, but I would mention that it's very important in a place like Australia, where they don't like cutting players in the middle of the season. They presume when they hire a player they're going to have them for the whole season. It's a very important thing for the teams down here to have good character guys with good attitudes, and that's as important to them, or maybe even more so than just the pure skill of the player. And every team we talk to down here stresses the importance of that. And this is something that I try to get through to players all the time when I talk to them, of how important it is to conduct yourself properly. It carries a lot of weight, and there's a lot of teams down here that keep players for 7, 8, 10 years, and the character issue is of the utmost importance in considering doing something like that.